It's Tuesday, January 19th. Coming up live on The View. They're ready to roar in Hot Topics. From Tiger checking into sex rehab to Jay making his case and saying he's not the bad guy. And why it wasn't in his kiss on The Bachelor last night. Plus, Megan Mullally's exposing why she's been getting more offers to do nude scenes since she turned 50. Why her husband's jealous over her relationship with Fabio. And why cosmetic surgery isn't an option. And if it's not an option for you because you can't afford it, we've got cutting-edge ways to turn back the clock, whether you can spend a fortune or can't spare a single penny, and showing you how they work live. All that, Hot Topics, and more coming up live on The View.
To The View. Before we do anything else, yesterday, before we went to break at one point, we were talking about what we were reading.
Oh, yes.
And I said, I will tell you when we come back. I got several phone calls.
But they want to know what you were reading?
What the hell?
So what were you reading?
I'm reading East of Eden because I was watching it on TCM.
Yeah.
And Robert Osborne, who is the host, said, you know, this is only the last part of the book. And for some reason, I didn't know that. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I went upstairs to, you know, where my library is, and I pulled it out, and I got into the book. I still have not been able to get out.
Because I had texted you, because I had gone to see Fela, and I was, Will and Jada, who are one of the producers along with Jay-Z,
right.
They had like a little after party for the cast, and everybody in Fela, the cast was like, did you text Whoopi? Where's Whoopi? And so when I texted you to say, everybody wants you to come down and see Fela, which you gotta go see, that you were saying you wanted to party, but you had gotten to reading East of Eden.
I started reading, and I was sitting in front of the fire, and I was not moving. Because I was all over it. So that's what I was reading. What were you reading?
I was reading a book called Sarah's Key.
Oh, yes.
You know the book?
Talked about.
That's a beautiful book.
Yeah,
it's all about
the
roundup during World War II of French Jewish children in Paris. That it's very little known information. And it's a novel, but she juxtaposes a personal life with what was happening in France. And there's a secret in it, and it's just a wonderful book to read. Sarah's Key. Pick it up. It's in paperback,
Now, so that's what we were doing. So now we'll get that off. Let's talk about Jay Leno. Jay Leno got very serious last evening during his monologue, reminding the audience that back in 2004, NBC fired him so Conan could take over The Tonight Show. That he thinks Conan's a great guy and that this is all just business. It's really just business. If you don't get the ratings, they take you off the TV.
That's right.
That's the way it is.
I thought it was great that Jay Leno kind of gave a lot of people a history lesson, because I think a lot of people think, you know, Jay Leno has the power to say where he wants to go and what he wants to do, but it's this behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on.
Well, and also on the base of it, it's numbers. But I think what was really cool to me, too, is I think a lot of people assume that everyone has someone running the show for them. I love the part that he said, I give my handshake. That, to me, is a deal.
He doesn't have an agent or a manager. He has a lawyer,
really refreshing.
He has a lawyer.
And also, he said in there, he said, you know...
He's not stupid.
No.
Yeah, he's got somebody looking over the contracts. But he also said that, you know, I got 175 people that are employed on this show I got to take care of.
That's the thing. It's like every time they came to him with some other new craziness, he said, okay. And he was painted as the bad guy in this, which I don't really get.
Well, I mean, the real bottom line is they tried something and it didn't work.
Yeah,
it just didn't work.
That
and
happens.
Sometimes you can put the greatest person in a movie, and it just doesn't work. So, you know, people tried, you know, Jeff Zucker took a shot.
I do like that about Jeff Zucker. He's getting a lot of flack. He's getting a lot of flack, but I think, you know, a leader, like he said, takes risks. You know, if you want, you took the position to lift them out of their, you know, the blues, and you took a risk, and it didn't work.
If you listen to Jay's speech, he said, or his talk, he said, they came to me in 2004, and they said, we're going to, 5 years, we're going to change you from, you know, he says, well, I'm number one now. I mean, I'm number one. So they said, we're going to do it anyway. And they said, and he said, well, can't you do it when I'm number two? And they said, no, we're doing it while you're number one, which is just a really stupid thing to do.
And then
and somebody has to take the rap for that stupidity.
Well, and it's the person making the decision, and I think that it is falling on his shoulders, and he will bear the brunt of it right now.
I don't think that. I think that's a little.
He's been getting death threats. What is that?
Yeah, he's been getting death. And that's a little ridiculous. It's only the Tonight damn show, okay? Okay, I could understand if you were like, if it was really deep and had something to do with your life.
Well, people are very evil out there sometimes.
They really take
I mean, you should see the letters that I read sometimes when they don't like what I say about Sarah Palin, let's say, or politics. I get these hateful letters from people. So, you know, it's very
People just wait for me on the corner.
It's me.
Signed, Elizabeth.
I haven't gotten to that point.
They just wait. They're like this.
Elizabeth, didn't you used to get a lot of nasty mail in the beginning? What did I tell you?
No, now they're all nice.
Really? They love you, Elizabeth. They love that, see? But Elizabeth, I told you
I'm the one writing the letters to you.
What did I tell you in the beginning? Do you remember?
Don't read emails.
I said don't read them.
But you also said, I remember you told me, you said as soon as you open up your mouth, you lose half your audience.
True.
I mean, I just think people, you know, it's like it's entertainment.
Yes,
know,
but they do
but
come
to do
back.
death threats.
But that's the thing. I mean, it is craziness. People have to sort of remember their place in their own lives. Right. You know, if you spending time writing death threats because somebody moved the Tonight Show, perhaps you should get some help.
I mean, that takes a lot of time.
Because that's a lot of time.
You spread out all these newspapers going, I'm looking for an E to cut out, to put the U and O, and then I'm looking for an F.
You know, just... My goodness. I mean, but then there are lots of rumors, okay? There are rumors everywhere in the world. There are rumors about Tiger Woods checking into rehab for sex addiction. But a new poll says that even if he went to it, it wouldn't change how people feel about him or what he did. 35% don't even think sex addiction is a real disease. Well, you know, they said that about schizophrenia, and they said that about a lot of diseases. But, you know, again, if you got that much time that you could take a poll...
Do you think, though, that if he...
I think that's kind of freaky.
It is. But do you think that if he was going out with not such gorgeous Playboy models, that they were all just regular women, not that gorgeous, really not pretty at all, do you think then they would think it's sex addiction?
No, then you look at them and go, what the hell's wrong with you?
Right, of course. Because
you can't say nobody better
something's wrong with you, and that's you have an addiction. When it's beautiful women, they say you go. But the men are like, yeah, well, I would do the same thing.
What's the addiction on the other end of the women who are going after him? Maybe
money.
Potentially
money
because
is the addiction.
He is right, exactly.
It's called the gold digger addiction.
Right, and I think that this is something that is real. Exactly, it is real. For many people. I think the thing that will work for Tiger is the fact that as he tries to piece together his life, he has a great career and a talent to, A, keep himself busy and also work on at the same time, whereas many people going through something like this they're not exceptional golfers who can go out and have a great round.
But
he
if he wasn't Tiger Woods and a great golfer, no one would be talking about this.
Yeah, because there's marriages that are saved for men going to, you know, sometimes it takes, with any kind of addiction, hitting rock bottom and going in and trying to get this taken care of, and this might possibly save his marriage.
I don't know. You think it's an addiction? I'm not so sure.
I think, well, you know, an addiction is if you're putting yourself in harm's way, your family in harm's way. I mean,
it's an easy addiction to get into, particularly if you're a young man and you got a lot of money, and chicks are coming out of the woodwork and they're with you all, they want to be with you. And I'm not talking about the married time. I'm talking about the time when you become the biggest flame and suddenly everybody wants to be in your face and they're offering you, because sex is, you know, how oftentimes... Yes?
I was going to say, then I don't think it's a sex addiction. Then it's an adoration addiction.
Well, I don't know. It seems to be tied up in both. You know, because you could be adored while you're looking up or looking down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, you know, those rehab places...
Looking down quite a bit.
But even if it's not a sexual addiction and he's at one of these rehab... I'm sorry. If he's at one of these rehab places, they're very strict. So this might still make him look inside of himself and go, why would I do this? Why would I put my family at risk, my wife at risk, my everything?
But isn't there the general trust about this, though? I think what the average person is thinking at this time, you read this headline and you're like, really? So you get caught and then you go in. Maybe it's rock bottom, but I think a lot of the time now the public is questioning all this rehab that people are entering into.
Yes.
All of a sudden it's sex addiction, it's this addiction, it's that addiction. What if it isn't? What if he was just
a
philanderer?
dog?
What if he, right. So this
It still is a rock bottom. You still don't think it's a rock bottom?
But people are asking.
What makes a man a dog, and when does he become a dog? Is it after
After
he...
the sixth person?
Well, you mean when he's married or not married?
Yeah.
Young men, I mean, let's be realistic.
I think when he's married...
Even if he wasn't married and if it was 13 women, I think.
Why is he a dog for having 13... If 13 women are saying, hey... Why should he say
if 13 women are going, hey, and you're going, give back.
Right.
You know, I think some people still...
Then it's addiction whether you're married or you're not. If he's not married, is it then an addiction?
Well, that's my question.
Yeah,
when is it... When,
that's why this conversation continues.
Maybe after you get married and you can't stop yourself from seeking that, maybe then it is an issue.
Right.
See, there's so many ways to look at this, but you know what? We don't really have time to look at it anymore because we got other stuff to think about that really affects us, like commercials. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics. Projected death toll in Haiti is up to 200,000, but just 90 miles from earthquake-ravaged Port-au-Prince, Royal Caribbean cruise ships have been docking so that passengers can get off and do what they do on a cruise ship on the far side of the island. And people have been giving them a lot of grief about it. Now, before this, I guess an article came out by the London Guardian that sort of made it seem like people were getting up and being frivolous. But in fact, you know, they're saying, listen, we've been bringing stuff down there. And yeah, we're not going to tell our people not to go because there are people who are still working and we still are their employers. We want them to get the business.
In other words, they're helping the economy of Haiti by going there with their cruise ships. But, you know, it's like, there's like the other night with the Golden Globes. It's a little weird to, like, be celebrating when horrible things are happening right down the block. But it has to be, I guess. Life goes on.
It's a hard thing because if they were not to go to this, their private resort and would go somewhere else, there's 230 employees over there who are Haitians that would not have any kind of livelihood. And you know how they say whenever there's a crisis, go to work so you have some sense of normalcy. So, and they're taking 40 to 80 pallets of food, water, milk, beans. So they're not only going over there.
Well, they said over $1 million in humanitarian funds are being collected for this cause. So I think it's just the vision, the visual of cruise ships, suntan lotion, sunglasses,
also because, you know, there's something in us. I don't know what it comes from. But the worse it looks, the better people seem to feel. Of
course.
It just knocks me out because, I think that they were going down, they were bringing stuff. And then an article came out and said, you know, people were over there partying and enjoying themselves. And they showed pictures in various newspapers, and it made it look like people were being thoughtless. And I thought to myself, wow, who are we? I know it's just Freaky Tuesday, but it's just me, you know? But you know what's more freaky even than me? Last night on The Bachelor. Yeah, baby. Contestant Michelle was convinced that Jake would fall hopelessly, madly in love with her behind through the magic power of her kiss.
I finally kissed Jake. It will definitely be long and passionate, soft, crazy tongue in your mouth, going crazy with the pulling hair or whatever, you know, ripping the clothes off.
Would it be awkward if I asked if I could kiss you? To see if I really feel something for me?
You gotta give me something more than that.
Yeah, that was awkward. That was awkward.
I know.
You want to say to this girl, stop watching Snow White, and he's just not that into you, baby. Get over it.
She was definitely the aggressor. I mean, but I think it takes more than 3 seconds to put a lot of magic into a kiss. She had a lot of expectations.
I think if there's chemistry, that kiss can really spark it off. But if there's no chemistry...
And he's got to find that magic with... How many women is he trying to find that magic with?
Well,
how about it was so manufactured, and you can't just ask permission for a kiss and then evaluate it and tell the guy
like that. When he looks at you like that, your brain has to say, oh, how do I get out of this now? You know, what you should have said was, you know what? I just had a moment. And Right. And, like, I really believe that I was really being aggressive, but I just, like, thought to myself, maybe I should wait. But, you know, and kiss you when it's mutually okay, because I didn't know.
But here's the thing, Whoopi. That's so hard for when this is the best you got in your arsenal. My kiss is gonna make him forget everything, his mama's name, and that's the best you got. And you got 17 other women. Even if he looks at you crazy, you gotta go for it.
No, you know what? That look
You don't have time to wait.
That look is telling you, not really. I'm not there with you.
Yeah.
And when you see I'm not there with you, you probably shouldn't go there.
And my look is going, just come here. Just come here. I will give it to you.
Doesn't matter. You see, your kiss doesn't matter.
You two need to kiss. Let's see if there's magic.
But here's the thing. You have to pay attention when you see those signals. That guy was signaling no.
No, see, women sometimes don't want a signal.
There you go.
Men look for signals. Women forget signals because we
don't
think
want
we
the
have the power to overrule the signal.
My
we
therapist,
see
I had a
signals and go
shrink.
right by it.
I had a shrink who used to say, remember, I don't have her anymore. She got Alzheimer's. No, seriously. Say, God forbid, I'm telling the truth here. But she used to say the man has to have the erection. Remember that.
Well, because,
Well,
okay.
and he did have the erection, so what do you do if he doesn't have
he's
the
not
erection?
into you. He doesn't
So then what do you do? Do you go, then let me leave the show? Let me...
Maybe he has ED. Yeah. Just because he doesn't have an erection doesn't necessarily mean it's not into you.
What did she do?
Well,
He's
he
not
could get
into
into
that.
you.
In that case, I'm not into him.
We will be right back with even more Hot Topics.
Hi, I'm Dr. Doris Day, and coming up, I'm going to show you whether you have a lot of money or no money, how to reverse your age on any budget.
Speaking of therapists, as we were before the break, therapists are reporting a sharp increase in, quote, green disputes among couples. Arguments about stuff like not recycling or running the water for too long. Is this an issue for y'all?
Sure. Like, we got these organic something, make your own diapers and use them and reuse them. And I said, why don't we try them for a week? And Tim got them and threw them out in a non-recyclable container. I know, well, you guys can give it to him when he's here on the 28th. I think that it is, if you don't agree on certain things, one being the environment or different ethical issues, it can create some sort of friction. For instance, he wants to know, okay, things were just called low fat before, okay?
Right.
Then someone had to let you know how low fat. So he says to me, well, how green is that? I want to know how green is it? Is it 3% green? Is it 7% green? Is it 70% green? And until I know, he's not going to jump in and do any extra.
So you married somebody really simple, close to you.
No.
Yeah.
No, for
you
recycling?
like, well, maybe not recycling, but you like to know that.
Make your own diapers, and they're made out of vegetables. I don't know. I was willing to give it a try.
That's just a lot of work. I mean, I'm trying to do the recycling. I'm trying to show Jeffrey how to do the recycling. But, I mean, all of this other stuff.
Don't actually care. I'm just saying.
Yes, but I'm trying to, I'm trying to...
They actually care more than adults.
A better place. The kids,
The
well,
kids
they retain it better.
They're teaching them in school, so they'll have different bins. They have, they collect their bottle caps and send them off to London to some big recycling place. And so we do it, and the kids are actually, I think, better at it than most adults.
Right. See, the thing that would aggravate me, why I'd have to go to the therapist, put the damn seat down in the bathroom.
Well, that's annoying.
It's not a lot to ask.
Yeah.
Put the seat down. Because in the middle of the night, women, because we don't have things outside of ourselves to contend with, we go into the bathroom like this, and we know we touch the thing, we turn around, and we sit. A guy, he's common, he's like this. If there's a sink, he's here. If there's a hole in the wall, he will go in the hole in the wall. But see, you can't put up the damn seat and then leave it. Because then here I come, and it's, I got mine. It's
There's
nasty.
nothing worse than, I mean, and we were talking
And they don't flush. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I have to say, I have fallen in the bowl many times in the middle of the night. I just fall right in.
Thank goodness it was clean water, though, huh?
Yeah, well, it's plain water, but it's
so disgusting to fall in. And we were talking to Bill Getty about this, and he just, for the life of him, could not understand what the big deal was and why women don't look to see if the seat is down. And it is a big deal when because your butt knows the inches to the rim. You fall into all of this water.
You know what?
I say we leave the whole cover down so it splashes back up on them when they go in the bathroom.
A separate bathroom. That's my answer to everything. But have your own bathroom. Then you can have little spots on the ceiling if you want. Because you don't know how to get there. You don't know how to... They're always spotting in the corner, way over there. You think, what were you doing in there?
But it's so hard. This is a hard thing because me, being a single mom, and I have a little boy, and I don't want my daughter-in-law to be getting on me saying, didn't your mother teach you anything, how to use a bathroom? I'm trying to teach my son how to, he does how to aim, because he likes to, it's fun to him to be Superman.
It's not the aim. It's the shakedown.
I do try
It's the shakedown. That's where all the spots come from. That's where everything comes from. And I'm just saying, if you have only one bathroom, always check your toothbrush. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's not that bad.
A shake? Are you kidding? Listen, you think that it's just like a it's like this. But no, they go crazy in the bathroom.
You have to put a cap on your toothbrush, by the way.
Yes.
Just FYI.
Whoopi, you are dating Superman. Where is he? Wow!
This has nothing to do with dating. This is living with people with whom you have very good relationships until it becomes about the bathroom. And I have found that for me, and I can afford it, and I'm thrilled, that I have my own bathroom.
Yeah, right.
I don't mess with people who don't have a bathroom separate for me. But Elizabeth, are you ready for your big debut over at ESPN later?
No. I am headed straight from the show to go over and switch jobs with Tim today. I'm going to be on NFL Live at 4 p.m. and SportsCenter after that. So I'm not ready. I'm hoping that on the ride there, I'll get ready.
We'll root for you, girl.
Thanks, Sherry.
Are you live tonight on ESPN?
Yeah,
what time?
And then Tim is going to come here and sit with you and do my job on the 28th.
Of January.
Yes, January 28th.
Well, you know, it's good it's not today because, Sherry, what would happen?
Yeah, well, the Jane Marvel line of handbags believes that it is every woman's right to great style, which is why everybody in the studio audience is going home with a $100 Jane Marvel.
And we will be right back with Megan Mullally.
Place in sitcom history as Will and Grace's body boozy friend Karen, and we followed her every move ever since. Please welcome Megan Mullally.
We're just feeling.
Oh, you look good. Now, we got to ask you, because we're talking about Hot Topics. You're married to Nick. You've been married for quite a while.
Yeah, Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman.
Yeah, do you guys know he plays Ron Swanson on Parks and Recreation?
I love that show. This is my hobby.
So does Nick do anything that just, as a husband, like we were talking about, you know, not putting the toilet seat down, not going green enough?
I hate to disappoint you. He is like the perfect husband. Yeah.
Doesn't exist. Come on. Are you serious?
It's weird. Like, without being a metrosexual, he somehow keeps everything neat. Like, he keeps his closet, like, he hangs his clothes up, and he doesn't make a mess. He does not do the thing in the bathroom that you're talking about.
Nice.
Did
you have to talk about it at some point? Where you said to him, could you make sure, or did he already know?
Like, I might have said it once, but he follows direction quite well.
There you go.
It's very important that the men should be trainable, right?
Yeah. He's ultra trainable.
You guys just came back from a European adventure, right, over Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah, we went to Bruges, Belgium, Vienna, and Prague.
Okay. Yes. And you have pictures, I know you brought with us.
Yes. There we are. That's in Prague.
Prague.
There's a canal.
Yes.
Yeah. Cold. That's fake fur, so the PETA people won't murder me on my way out of the building.
Elizabeth, doesn't she look like you in that shot? You look just like Elizabeth.
Yeah, no, before you show the next picture, you know, we're in these beautiful, beautiful cities, art and architecture, everything's stunning and beautiful, and I spent the entire trip walking around saying, oh my God, honey, look. And right toward the end of the trip, like on the second to the last day, for the first time, I hear Nick say, oh my God, honey, look. And I realized he was talking about a sausage. And then he bought one, and that was the result. Yeah. He was so excited. He was more excited about that than any of the beautiful wonders of Europe that we saw.
You know, I have to say, I was... I'm sorry.
Wait, no, we got one more picture that you're not going to want to... Look how white my legs are. Look, whitest person in the world. That's all right. Irish, big white Irish potato. So,
yes, but edible.
Before this last picture, we didn't get our luggage. Thank you. We didn't get our luggage before... we didn't get our luggage for the first 10 days, so we had to buy some staples. So we're in Europe. So Nick, we took a funny photo series of Nick in his Euro panties, and here's one of them.
Wow! What city is that in? That's so
that was Vienna. That's the fanciest hotel room I've ever seen in my life. You guys, I've never seen a hotel room that fancy in my life. We opened the door, and I burst out in, like, nervous laughter because it was like a palace. I mean, it was literally used to be a palace.
Wow.
I don't even know
and
how we ever...
He's cool with showing that. He's a good sport. I love it.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He's not shy.
No,
I want to say about Nick. When you had your talk show, you guys did this Broadway number. You and Nick was in it, and it was so freaking funny. I loved it. But we just are in love with you because you were Karen on Will and Grace.
Yes.
You were so funny. You stepped in front of the camera, you just stole the show. And a lot of people, you know, they kind of run from, you know, their sitcom roots, but you don't. You embrace Karen, you love her.
I think it's funny, you know, people that do sitcoms spend the rest of their lives, like, desperately trying to distance themselves from their sitcom characters, and I think it's hilarious to just keep doing it. Right. So I'm actually going to do Karen the musical. I'm doing it. I think it'll be hilarious.
You know, I have to say that I admire something I read about you, that you're really not concerned about getting older because you wanted to let your hair go gray. They stopped you. You're not going to ever get plastic surgery. You say that now, but we'll see. But tell me about that.
Well, I like it. I don't know. I turned 50 last year, and it was really freeing. Yeah. It was very freeing because, you know, not that I was ever a hot, you know, fox or anything, but I feel like you feel some kind of a pressure when you're a younger actress to sort of be cute and, like, be the girl and this and that. And then once you turn 50, it's like cat's out of the bag. You don't even have to think about it anymore. You can play as many character roles as you want. Right. You can look... Yes. You know, you can be overweight, you can have gray hair, you can be a whatever, you can play a front.
I think Meryl Streep was quoted saying that when she decided not to worry about how she looked, she became an even better actress.
Yeah, because then it's all about the character and it doesn't... Because really what you look like, ultimately, even if you're not an actress, what you look like does not matter at all. It's who you are as a person.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but there are a lot of superficial people in this business.
Yeah.
Now, you have this very funny campaign. You're working with I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, which is this new ad campaign.
We did a music video in a supermarket.
It's so funny. Now, is your husband, I heard he's getting a little jealous of you doing this campaign?
Well, I think he's mad because I'm in a common law marriage with Fabio. And we trade off the campaign. Every 10 years, Fabio and I trade off on the I Can't Believe It's Not Butter campaign because someone has to stay home and take care of the kids. You know, and but it was a lot of fun, and I've used that product for years because it actually is better for you than butter.
It's what? Barf-free?
Better for you.
Better for you.
Barf-free? Better for you. Healthier for
Where are you from? Chicago? Where are you from? They have a
Oklahoma City.
Well, this is something I want to know, Megan. You and Nick, you started dating him when you were 41. You guys got engaged a few years later. And then when you're married, you said you gained weight. After you guys got married?
We both gained about 15 or 20 pounds the first year that we were dating because we would stay up all night doing the do and eating. You lose weight doing that. But unfortunately, we added buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken and lots of beer.
Doing it.
Yeah, lots of beer.
Yeah.
You know, because his whole family, it's like they're beer drinkers. That's their thing. They go on fishing trips and they have a cooler of beer. And so I was like, yeah, I want to get in the group. And like 15 pounds later, I was like, wait, beer's fattening.
And chicken.
And Kentucky Fried Chicken every night.
It's so
Not a
good.
big
It's so
crowd.
good. Yeah.
Especially after you finish doing the do, girls. Great.
it's good.
Megan, we love having you
Oh, it's
here.
so fun
It
to
is
be
so
here.
nice.
You were great and precious.
Thank you very much,
good.
girl. When we come back, find out how to reverse your age on any budget.
Heidi Montag has been in the news because she had 10 cosmetic procedures in one day. But hey, Heidi can afford it. Our next guest says reversing the aging process can be achieved on any budget, and she's here to show us how. Please welcome the author of Forget the Facelift, Dr. Doris Day. Welcome, doctor. So, I loved when you sang Que Sera Sera, by the way. Nobody got that. What am I, the oldest person in this room?
Doris.
Okay.
We're actually going to start from the high
Doris
end
Day
down,
is
right?
her name, yeah. Okay, Dr. Day, what if you don't have any money?
We're going to get there, right?
The girl we talked about, Heidi Montag, she's got some money.
Well,
But sometimes less is more, and it's not always a good thing to spend a lot of money, even if you have a lot of money to spend.
right, and we're going to show you in different brackets what you can do in each budget form, right? So we're going to start if you have between $10,000 and $5,000.
Right.
What can you do?
Okay, so in the highest price points, there's a lot of really great choices, and the great news in 2010 is that you can combine treatments. So we can start with fillers like Radiesse, Restylane. Sculptra is a great volumizer that just got FDA approved. Juvederm is a great choice. We have Botox and Dysport, but you combine these with things like Thermage, which is radio frequency for tissue tightening, and this gives you nice lift and tightening. This is not a painful procedure.
Why does
really
she have
has
a
no
bingo
downtime.
tablet on her face?
That's a marker that shows you where to go, but you can see she really has a nice jawline afterwards. It's much smoother. And this doesn't have any pain, but she still needs her skin to look better. So we combine this with laser resurfacing. And what this will do is this will make her skin surface look better and the skin cells more healthy. And that actually minimizes her risk of skin cancer.
And is this a one-time deal? I mean, so what? That's
These
about
are
what?
one-time treatments.
So that's between $5,000 and $10,000 you spend for
When you
that. You
combine
don't have to
them.
do it when you combine them.
Right.
You don't have to do it again.
And then you combine that with Botox and laser peel and Radiesse and fillers, and you look what I call subtly dramatic. You look so much better, but you don't look done. This is not surgery. This is volumizing, contouring, sculpting. And we're injecting these in ways we haven't before. So we're not just filling lines and wrinkles.
Okay, so let's move down another bracket. If you have between $1,000 and $5,000, what is something you can do?
So we're still into the injectables to some extent. I'm going to show you Botox so that you can see it's not a painful injection.
Okay.
So we're going to look at Marissa, who is in her upper 40s. She's a beautiful woman.
Hi, gorgeous. You don't
been
need
my
anything.
patient for a while.
Thank you. You really just look fine. What is she going to do to you?
So what we're going to do is a little bit of Botox to give her a lift of her brows. So I'm going to do it as I show you. I'm going to show you as I do it.
I think your brows look nice.
Well, but she's making this line across her forehead.
She doesn't need that line across her forehead.
Right.
Okay.
So we're going to
No.
put a little bit of Botox into
Yeah.
there. So I'm just going to inject. You can see it's not a particularly painful injection.
Well, they put an analgesic on you to numb.
None.
You don't even
It's
need
not
that?
painful.
Okay.
Some people do, but that's just the placebo effect. Or if you're running
Here,
late,
give me
you
some of
wanna
that.
wait. Well, that's what happens. People ask for that. And then just do a little bit. These are areas that we normally treat.
Okay.
So, but you can also lift up the corners of putting a little bit into the angle of the jaw.
Okay. How long until this stuff starts working? Is
It
she like
works in
lifted on the
about
way out of the
2
office?
No, it starts in about 2 days. And we can also do areas of the neck to give her a tighter, more contoured neck. So it's going to take a few days, but I have some before and afters.
Okay.
Of combination of Botox and Juvederm Ultra. So you can see her eyes are more open. Look, that hooding on the eye is gone.
Okay.
And look how much smoother and her smile is.
So what did you do? You got rid of jowls over
Yeah,
here?
this will lift up the corners and make her jawline smoother, and you can tighten and contour the
And
neck.
what did you put?
Okay.
Tell us again.
This was Botox that I
Botox.
used in her. And then we'll do a little bit of filler along to fill in further, a little bit in here, and a little bit into the, just a little bit. And we go into different layers of the skin now, so she'll have a
Now,
nice
pulls it
lift
up.
and she'll look so natural.
Now, let me ask you this. We talked, when Joy entered the piece, she talked about Heidi Montag.
Right.
She had 10 procedures in one day. How many of these things, because you are talking about some combinations, how many are safe in one day for the average woman?
It depends on what you do, but honestly, I have never met a 23-year-old who needs a brow lift. I've just never seen it.
Right.
So maybe they're out there and they exist. It depends on what you're doing. So,
beautiful.
You know, a lot of times when someone comes in and I think they're too young, I'll discuss with them about proper skincare and educate them and help direct them going forward.
Okay.
It's okay for someone to ask you, but it's also okay as an aesthetic physician to say no.
Sure. Okay, great. So let's move on. We're going to go to this bracket. Thanks, Marissa. $500 to $1,000. This is where we are now. This is nothing injectable, right? It's all cream topical.
Now we're into skincare, but this is a little bit more superficial, but it really holds back the aging process. This is a retinoic acid-based peel that we do, that you do part in the office and part when you go home. It really brightens. So I have some before and afters of this. This is a woman who had a lot of sun damage. She's Japanese, Spanish, so she had skin of color. I'm not trying to lighten her skin. I'm trying to even out her skin tone. She never went out without makeup before, and now she can go out without makeup, and she feels really good about it. So this is just evening out her skin tone and making her skin more healthy.
Why can't she just go out with makeup?
Well, which is
she's very athletic and very active. She rollerblades everywhere.
But some women do want to go actually right to the source of the problem, fix the skin, rather than try to cover it up. Now,
and her skin's more healthy.
Right. Now, let's talk about less than $500.
So we have different categories. Everybody in any category, if you're going to do anything to make your skin look better, you have to maintain it. And we're talking sun protection every day, all year round. And for people who don't like it, you can even get ones that you brush on right over your makeup when you go out. So there's no excuse to not wear sunscreen. And these are all different price points. These are anti-wrinkle, anti-aging hydrators. So this is a little bit more expensive. In the Neocutis brand, Olay, Professional Pro X is in the drugstore, Aveeno is in the drugstore. These are great drugstore products.
They really
have
work, though?
Yes, they have clinical trials, and the Olay actually compared in a clinical trial to a prescription brand retinoid. So these do have data behind them that are in our peer-reviewed journals.
But does it make your skin tighter? Doesn't do that.
A little bit.
Yeah. Sometimes you do feel it from the over-the-counter.
You do. When your skin's more healthy, it's going to have better elasticity, and it will be a little tighter.
No cash at all. What do you do?
Well, in my book, Forget the Facelift, I have lots of really great home recipes. And so there's lots of stuff you can do with things you have in the house, getting a healthy diet, exercising, all those things. And also, it's in your head. It's what you were talking about before. If you project youth and health, but there's great facial exercises as well. So when you wake, you're going to do this with me. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to open your eyes wide, open your mouth wide, feel sunshine come in, feel your face widen, so you're aware of all those expressions.
Good morning.
Move your ears back. Practice moving your ears back, because that will lift your face,
My grandmother used to do this. Does that do anything?
No. Not much.
No? I'm not sure why she did it, but I love you, Mama.
Why did I marry him? Why did I marry him?
So that's really helpful. And all those expressions and what you put through, you know, there's no shortcuts. If you want to have beautiful skin, you have to take really great care of your whole body, and it will show in your skin as well.
Thank you so much. This is great information. You're all beautiful, and you're all going home with a copy of Dr. Day's book. We'll be right back.
Do not forget to watch ESPN this evening at what time?
4 p.m.
4 p.m. because you'll see the fabulous Elizabeth Hasselbeck doing the trade. And who's on your show tonight?
Randy Jackson is on. We're going to be talking about Paul Simon. HLN, 9 o'clock.
And you know what? The rest of y'all, have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy The View.